Hello guys, welcome to this channel. So in today's tutorial we're learning how to draft a basic bodice block pattern. So if this looks like what you'd want to learn, do not forget to hit on the like and the subscribe button. Do well by turning on your notification bell so you can get notified when next we upload new tutorials. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for staying back, thank you for watching this video. So guys, let's get straight into the video. The basic requirement needed is your shoulder. That means you'll be dividing your shoulder by 2, your round bust measurement divided by 4, your waist measurement divided by 4, your bust point, that is from your shoulder to your nipple, then your bust span, your nipple to nipple measurement, then the front half length and the back half length. In order to achieve the front half length, you are going to tie a rope around your waist, then you take the measurement separately, measure from the front to the waistline and the back to the waistline. Okay, also we'll be needing this our ruler, our curve, our tape rule, our marker or pencil, then our masking tape to draft this pattern. Okay, so guys, please hit on the like button if you haven't, so that YouTube can make this video go viral. Now I've gone ahead to mark 1 inch as our start line on both sides. Okay, just go ahead and start and mark like so. This will serve as our start line. Okay, I don't want to start from the edge, so I'm going to be this line will serve as our shoulder line first. Then I'll go ahead and impute my vertical measurement. So the bust point is from your shoulder to your nipple, which is 9 inches. I'll go ahead and mark 9 inches. Okay, so just go ahead and connect like so. From your shoulder to your nipple, the fullest part of your bust is where your bust point is. Then you're going to place your tape on the shoulder line and you're going to be marking your half length. For this, the front half length is 16 inches. Okay, so when we get to the back, you'll see that the front half length, the measurement is quite different. So also from your bust point, you'll be going up by 1.5 in order to get your chest line. Or you can simply divide your bust measurement by 6, then you add 1.5 to get your chest line. So you are going to be measuring from your shoulder slope in order to get this chest line. Or you can go up from your bust point, go up by 1.5. Okay, now our shoulder measurement is 14 divided by 2 is 7. Then the neck width, we are going to be marking 2. If you are working with a bigger measurement, a plus size, you can mark 3 inches. So I'll come down by 1 inch to get our shoulder slope. You know, the shoulder is slanty, it's not straight, so we're going to connect like so. This will serve as our new shoulder line. So the measurement I have on my shoulder, that is 7, I'll mark the same thing on the chest line in order to get my armhole line, because we need to get our armhole line. Okay, so guys, this is our armhole line and I'll get the midpoint of this armhole line. So you're going to measure like this and get the midpoint, then you take note of that point. Okay, then from this point, I'll be going in by half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch in order to get our armhole curve. So you go in, then you're going to divide your bust measurement by 4. What I have is 8 1/4. You mark, then you're going to connect these 3 points together. From your shoulder, you're going to connect to the center of your armhole. Then you're going to use your curve to connect to the last part. Okay, so guys, this is our front armhole curve. So the next thing, I'm going to be imputing my bust span measurement, nipple to nipple, divided by is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I've gone ahead to mark 3.5 on the bust point and on the half length. Then I went ahead to connect. So the dart intake is going to be 1 inch, half of an inch on both sides. Okay, you can use 3/4 of an inch, that is 0.75 on both sides. Then on the bust point, I'll come down by 1 inch, then I'll connect these two lines together. So our dart intake is actually 1 inch. You can decide to use 1.5 if you are working with a fuller bust. Okay, so next I'm going to divide my round waist measurement by 4 is 6.5. Then I'll replace this dart intake of 1 inch. Okay, this is it. Then I'll go ahead and connect from my chest line to my waistline. Remember, the front half length is 16 inches while the back is 14.5. So when you subtract this, you have 1.5 inches. So from the bust point, I'll come down by 1.5. I'll be marking 1.5. Then I'm supposed to, if I were to be contouring the under bust, I would have connected straight like this to the bust point. But since this is a basic pattern, I'll be marking 1 inch from this end first, then I'll go ahead and connect to the 1.5 inches that I came down from, instead of connecting directly to our bust point. Had even we are contouring or making, let's say we want to make a princess that corset or any of the above, would have done that. But since it's just a basic, we'll just connect to our 1 inch. And now the standard neck width is 3 inches while the neck depth is 3 inches for the front. Okay, the standard neck width is 3 inches by 3 inches. So that's it for the front pattern. I've also gone ahead to add half of an inch to my shoulder before I remember that at this other side we're left with one other thing to do. Remember, when you measure this side, you have 3.5 at the upper part, then at the lower part you have 4 inches. So in order to avoid shortage at the side, this, we are going to be sewing this. I'm going to get the midpoint of this. So when you get the midpoint, you mark, then you can go in by half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So we want to make sure that the side, when you join it, there will not be shortage of any kind. So I'm just going to connect from that point where I marked half of an inch. I'll connect it back to my waistline, then from and I also connect this one too. Then from my bust point, I'll go ahead and connect like so. Okay, so doing this, by the time you measure it, you'll see that the lengths are the same. So now I'll go ahead and add my necessary side seam allowance. Okay, go ahead and add your necessary side seam allowance. And also, as you can see, this is actually from your the measurement with the pattern for this is just from your shoulder to your half length. You can make it a blouse length. The only difference is you impute your round hip measurement or wherever the length of your top stops ends. Okay, so that's just the difference. So can you see I've gone ahead to add my side seam allowance, and this is our front pattern. So next we'll go ahead and draft the back pattern, and as you can see, this is our shoulder line. So I'll be marking 2 inches first. Okay, so go ahead and mark 2 inches first, and you're going to connect like so. Just keep this in mind. I'm going to explain further. So next, our shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 7. That is 14 divided by 2 is 7. I'll go ahead and mark 7 inches. Also, the neck width is 2.5. I've gone ahead to mark 2.5, and I'll be coming down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope as well. Go ahead and connect like you see me doing. Okay, so next I'll go ahead and impute my vertical measurement, your shoulder to your waistline. Like I said, for the back is 14.5. So as you can see, the front was 16, now the back is 14.5. Okay, don't worry, when we close up the side, that you'll see that the side will eventually match up. Okay, so now I'm just going to measure for the front pattern. I'll go ahead and confirm my chest line, which is 7.5. Okay, so I'll repeat the same thing at the back. 7.5 inches is our chest line. Then you are going to connect just like you see me doing. So you are going to repeat your shoulder measurements on your chest line. What I have is 7 inches, and please, when doing this, make sure you don't mark after the 2 inches that we marked earlier. Then you are going to connect to get your armhole line. So now we are going to divide our round bust measurement by 4. Whatever you have, you are going to be marking it on your chest line, and what I have is 8.25. So for the armhole line, I'm going to, for the front, remember we got the midpoint, we divided it into 2, then you are going to mark for the front. But for the back, just go from your chest line, go up by 3 inches. Can you see? You can see that there's a difference between these 2 points. So from a chest line, you go up by 3 inches, then you're going to go in by quarter of an inch. For the front, we went in by half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. But for the back, we are just going to be going in by quarter of an inch. Then you connect the 3 points to get your armhole curve. Now for the center back, in order to avoid bulginess at the center back, I'll be marking half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch at this side. Okay, then you connect it to your neck, to your neckline. Mark half of an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So this is what we call the sway back effect. We're going to be cutting this off. This part is going off entirely. So this chest line, we are going to replace this. Since we are going to be cutting it off, we are going to replace this side, which is half of an inch. Measure whatsoever you have, you replace it back. Then on the waistline, I'm going to be marking my, dividing my waist measurement by 6 by 4. What I have is 6.5. Then you are going to add 1 inch is that, then you connect to your chest line. Please, for the waistline, you are going to be using the slanted line and not this first line. Okay, so our bust span is 7 divided by 2, 3.5. So I'll be marking from the straight line so that we can get straight measurement. So I'll mark 3.5 from the straight line this time around. I'll mark it on the chest line and also on the waistline. Then you are going to connect. That intake is 1 inch. You are going to be measuring half of an inch on both sides. Then you connect straight up to your chest line. Okay, so guys, this is how you go about this. Also, I'm going to replace this way back, this 3/4 of an inch or half of an inch. We are going to replace it back on the waistline because you don't want any shortage at the end of it all. Okay, so this is it. We've replaced it back. When you measure it, you have everything intact. So for the neckline, the back is going to be 3 inches by 1 inch. That's the standard neck width. You can alter it later, but for a standard measurement, the front is 3 by 3 while the back is 3 by 1. Okay, now we are going to be marking zipper allowance of 1.5 inch. Please, you are going to be using the new line, the slanted line. Okay, not the previous one, the first line. So I'm going to extend the waistline, then I'm going to be marking 1.5 from the slanted line. As you can see, you are going to connect. You discover that this is not actually straight, it's going to be slanty. So don't worry, this will help you to eliminate the bulginess at the back. This is our zipper space. You can use zipper allowance of 1 inch or half of an inch. So I'm just going to clean up this other line so that we don't mix this up. You know, when we have too much lines, you might mix this up. So after this, you can also, when working with the stretching fabric, you can also go up by 1 inch or 1.5 at this point, still to avoid bulginess. We want our zip to sit well at the back. So I'll go up by 1 inch or 1.5, then I'll connect it to the side seam. Okay, so we are going to be cutting this other part. Don't worry, this is just to ensure you have proper fitting. So you can actually, it's optional though, you can decide not to do this particular part. You can decide to stop at the initial one, but this is just to give it perfect fit. So this is our back pattern and here is our front pattern. So I'm going to be adding my side seam allowance and my shoulder. Just go ahead and add necessary allowances. Okay, add half of an inch all around if you want to, since this is just a basic bodice pattern. So in our next tutorial, we'll be learning how to, I just, because so many have been requesting for it, so I want us to just start this, and I took my time to explain this so that when next we upload the next tutorial, we are going to be doing something different. So I just want to start this up so that we don't mix it up. Our next tutorial, I'm not going to be explaining this. I'll just go straight to what we have for the day. So guys, this is it for our drafting. I'm going ahead to add half of an inch all around, and if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so and like this video so that YouTube can make this video go viral. So this is the final outcome. I went ahead to use my marker to make this more bold so that we all can see what we have. So guys, until I see you in my next tutorial, bye.